Uncle Jack records. Jesus Christ. Gwen's life is hanging on Uncle Jack records. Not that Lionel knows that, thank God. Damn it. I better go home and get my Garden District drag. Can't walk around there in the latest Davy Hackney. I get so resentful.
Miss Boyle?
Look, if you're still mad about that incident with the, tea cozy...
Oh, no. I need your assistance. It's sort of private. I've heard there's a fake pill that makes you look like you've had joy.
Silly rumors.
I sort of need one.
Why would you want to go off your joy?
It's for Beatrice. Well, it's sort of for me.
You're going to slip it to her?
It's just...
If you're tired of her, break things off like a man.
No, I love her. It's just... well... ever since we started seeing each other, she says she loves me. But she loves everything. Me. Long walks. Sunsets and rainbows, of course.
Simon Says, big wristwatches on a man, wrapping paper, dandelions, a good night's sleep, ribbons, Uncle Jack's bedtime stories, 6 o'clock, commemorative spoons. I have to know if it's real.
She'd be a downer, even if it's temporary.
The moment she tells me the truth, I'll give her a real joy. Promise.
Are you sure you want the truth?
You used to be very interested in my mojo recipe. A dab a day keeps the doctors away, remember?
Yes, I remember. That would be handy. All right. The recipe?
I'll give it to you tomorrow after I see Beatrice.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Be Happy Few. We are playing as Sally. The screen looks a little wonky right now. Oh, it's just because everything's super blacked out. I did all the super intro stuff with her because it's just a little bit tedious. Basically, Sally she's a drug dealer. She does this different version of joy, and she supplies a lot of people. It's not just like individuals. She's also largely supplying the police force, and at the end of Arthur's thing you also heard that she's mostly supplying the doctors. And at the beginning you find out that she has an actual baby, which obviously she's not supposed to have. So this little tutorial bit that's up on the screen right now is just telling you what's different about her character and being her versus being Arthur. So when you first start this game being Arthur, he's a pretty balanced character. He's capable of doing pretty much any kind of crafting, but from here on the remaining two characters are a little more specific. So this is saying that she is pretty small, she's not really great at fighting, she really needs to avoid confrontations, she's really great at chemistry, but she's not great at making anything mechanical, so she'll need to buy things instead of make them like Arthur could, and it will be the opposite of this for Ollie. And there was an additional bit of, there's this thing in the upper section that you can see with the baby stuff, that if it gets too low that she'll start getting a lot of anxiety about the baby. And the more anxiety she has, the more it affects her gameplay.
One of these days, Gwen, I'm going to teach you all about chemical interactions. They're so much more reliable than boys.
Every character always has 4 things that are totally inherent to them. For her, Greetings make people even less suspicious. I'm slower carrying corpses. Cannot wield any heavy weapons. Rubbish at mechanical stuff. Never learned to sew. Chemically brilliant. Fantastic. And all of their skill trees are different. There's some things that overlap a little bit. Really, really basic stuff like sprinting faster and longer are going to be the same. Getting more benefits from being well fed, hydrated, and rested are going to be the same. What is happening? 1 second. I think it's just somebody's subwoofer. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Christ, dude, chill with your car.
Can't you just ride? Fucking blend it.
Look like you belong there even when you don't. Well, that's handy. She's got a nice skill tree. Realistically, if you want to unlock the entire skill tree, you really have to do, like, basically all of the side missions that a character has.
Either of us didn't know what he was doing. Toys.
The thing I always liked about Arthur was being with him was like being alone, but with someone.
It's her. She's the murderer.
Hello. Are you a friend of Uncle Jack?
Of course. Who isn't?
You'd be surprised. Some people seem to think that because we're out here in the Garden District, we have to abandon all pretense of civilization.
We can't take joy, but that doesn't mean we can't see the world the way Uncle Jack does, right? It's just a question of concentration.
Oh, yes. In fact, Uncle Jack has heard of you.
He's heard of us? You can't be serious.
Is he going to talk to us on the TV? Oh, but we never get the new programs out here.
What did he say? How do you know?
Why don't you ask him? He's coming to visit. He wants to do a live broadcast from here.
He's coming here? But the place is a mess.
We have to clean up. Uncle Jack's coming.
Coming! Uncle Jack is coming!
Uncle Jack is super fucking dead. This game has some really fascinating story mechanics where these characters do run into each other. You meet Sally and Ollie as you play Arthur, and I think that as you play Sally, you also meet Ollie. I could be misremembering that part. But the interactions that you have as you're playing each character are not the same. Which one's closer? This one's closer, so I probably need to go here. So, like, there's just a little bit of difference. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm fine, I'm running.
you.
I don't have the upgrade
your
to
own
be able to run
campsite.
yet, I guess. There's just like a little bit of difference in how they hear each other and stuff like that, which is super, super interesting. It's definitely about like
Don't think
how
I won't sniff you
subjectively
out.
we
There they are.
see things differently. And even more interestingly, Arthur... This may have been like a programming accident, but Arthur actually saw
He's the murderer.
certain locations in different areas of the map than the other characters did, for some reason.
I
So,
wonder
like,
if Lionel can make
there's a
some sort
doctor
of
that you go see,
automatic baby feeder
not
for
the
me.
kind of doctor
Then I
that
wouldn't
can
have to
smell
run
you,
back
but like
home
an
as often
actual
to feed
doctor.
one.
Her name is
I'll
Dr.
have to
Faraday.
go.
She's
I'll
an
have to go.
engineer. And when he found her, her house was out in the Garden District. But when you run into her with other characters, her house is here in the village. Just an interesting little tidbit. I really should look at the map instead of what I'm doing here. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the game kind of in general, because I've gotten some notes from my friends that they just really didn't know a lot about this game. So this game is the second game made by a small indie company called Compulsion Games. It was a Kickstarter campaign. It took a long time to get off the ground. I started following their Kickstarter sometime in high school. I paid for the alpha when I was a senior, and the full game only came out like,
Odd.
I don't know, a year and a half ago, maybe? Yes, this is my house. Okay.
Hello. Let's have a look at you, shall we? You're in tip-top shape, aren't you?
So it was a really, really long time coming. The first game that this company made was,
We're so pleased you survived the Garden
what was it
District.
called? Contrast. It was called Contrast. It was a little cute little puzzle platformer where you played a... Ooh, that's obnoxious. Right, there's no point in doing this. Sorry. A cute little puzzle platformer where you play the imaginary friend of a little girl, and you are capable of being either a 2D shadow or a 3D person, which is like the basis for all the puzzles in the game, which was super, super interesting. There's no other physical characters in the game. They are all expressed with either... Not either. They're all expressed just with shadows and voices. And the basic plot is essentially that this little girl sees that there's kind of some unhappiness in her family between her mom and her dad, so she wants to go see her mom perform. I think it takes place in like the 40s or 50s. And I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted. I'm waiting to see if I get a text from my boss that she remembered. We talked about me working today. Anyway, so she learns that her dad is not actually her dad through the course of that game, and that this kind of like mad scientist guy that does like fun shows and stuff is actually her father. It's a very, very sweet game, full of pop culture references, a lot of like Doctor Who, Peter Pan, a ton of other stuff too. And actually, even in this game, there's a bunch of Doctor Who references. You might notice inside buildings that all of the trash cans look like upside down Daleks. It's just silly. They're just having a lot of fun. So yeah, that's just like a little background about the company. I might play Contrast on this channel. The problem is, for a long time, it wasn't on Xbox One. It was originally on Xbox 360, and I bought it on Xbox 360, but they never made it forward compatible, so I would have to repurchase it, and I just don't want to. I know it's dumb, but I've been thinking about it a lot recently, and it's pretty short. It would be maybe just like 2 videos. I'm sorry, my cats are having a skirmish. What the fuck is this?
Sally Boyle! I hope you found your Uncle Jack record. Me brother's been pestering me.
I have indeed.
You're Brillo! Milk you shall have!
Lionel, you're sort of handy, aren't you?
Well, I do like to tinker. You'd be amazed at the state of some of these things when they come into the shop. Can't sell them if I can't fix them.
I have some designs for some apparatuses.
Some sort of water feeder for birds?
Oh, heavens no. I can't stand the crows. It's for my flowers. Mustn't overwater, but I keep forgetting to water it all.
Oh, of course. Well, let me see what I got in the back there. I bet I can find all the pieces sooner or later. They never show up right away, but they always show up sooner or later.
I'm sorry,
check back in a
Meme wants
bit.
to be in my lap. 1 second. Meme, either lay down or go away. Figure your shit out. Oh my god. You're ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, here, I'll make my lap better for you. No? Oh my god, what are you doing?
Gwen's got something to taste. Here we go, darling. Baby milk. You won't believe what Mummy had to do to get this for you. Well, I'll never tell you, frankly. Who's at the bloody door now?